Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Well, today I'm going to tell you guys a story. I hope you can learn from this story. I want someone to learn a thing or two that is going to help you or someone else, you know, usually or always pass it on. So last summer, I think it was last summer, and I was just at home. You know, summer is very hot, and then I had a bad headache for about 2 to 3 days, you know, and it was just one-sided. I was like, what is this? What's going on? I tried sleeping, it didn't work. I tried drinking water, it didn't work. Okay, because I'm so glad that at home I was not alone. Like, I had my friends over because it was summer and we were on holiday, so I was staying with my friends here. And then I told them, like, yo, I have a headache and I don't really understand. It has been killing me. And then they suggested that they take me to the dispensary. Like, outside the community there is like a dispensary, so they took me there and they just checked my temperature. My temperature was fine. They asked if I was maybe pregnant, and no, I was not. So they didn't do like a blood test or anything. They just gave me headache pills. They just give me the painkillers. Sharp, we left, we came back home. I took the painkillers. The next day, still the same. Like, I was still feeling the headache. So I had braids. I said, maybe it's the braids, they're too heavy for me. I cut down the braids, but still I was having the headache, and I was like, what's going on? I took down the braids. They were just small cornrows. I didn't get the point of why could that be the reason for my headache, but I was like, maybe it has, because it has been a while. It had been like 1 year without extensions on my head, so I thought maybe that could be the reason. Even after that, it didn't work, and I told them, guys, this is serious. So that evening they said, no, let's take you to another hospital, like a bigger hospital. We went to the hospital, they took my blood, and we had to wait because they said, like, they get the other results, but my blood plates were higher, so they cannot get everything out. I was like, what's going on? They said, you have to wait. So we waited for at least like 2 hours, and then the doctor said your blood platelets are higher, like very higher, very abnormal, so you cannot, you have to go home, go for a COVID test, and come back here to be admitted. I was like, wait a second, I have never been admitted before, and now you want me to be admitted? Anyway, I couldn't say anything. I was like, I don't think it's this serious. Okay, they asked me for my information, where do I come from and everything, because here the hospitals, they really worry for foreigners, like, not just foreigners, for their patients. The hospitals are very strict, and it wasn't like a private hospital, it's a public hospital, but they were very strict. So I didn't tell my family, I didn't tell my friends or anything. I just, the people that I was with at the moment. I didn't want to scare anyone. On the way, I even told them, like, I'm going to stay for 2 days and I'll be back, so you guys don't worry, it's gonna be fine. Okay, the next day then we know that my results could be out, because they cannot admit you if you do not have the COVID results. Can I say the word here? Okay, if you do not have the COVID-19 results. So after my results were out, we went back to the hospital. I actually took a few things with me. Like, I didn't take a lot of things, knowing that for the next 2 days probably I'll be back. And then we got there, they checked everything, they gave me the bed, and now I'm in this room. First of all, the first thing I see, they're all old people. Like, I'm the only young person in there. Like, I was like, what's going on? But I didn't care. Okay, the hospitals are really nice, the room was nice, it's clean, and in my room we were just 3 people, and it was really nice because it wasn't a bad place, you know. It wasn't as how I expected hospitals to be, because I had never been admitted before. Shock. Yesterday they had given me meds, and now my headache was gone. And now in my heart I was like, why can't they just let me go home? Because I do not have a headache anymore. Maybe my blood plates are also down. That night the nurse came and she told me, like, I'll be in charge of you. The doctor came, like everyone who was supposed to be in charge of me came. They introduced themselves to me. I'm so glad that I can at least speak Chinese, so it's actually easier to speak with the doctors, the nurses, and even the other patients. And they told me, like, we have to run a couple of tests. And I asked the doctor, like, how long am I gonna be here? She said, probably for a week. I said, probably? Not just for a week? She said, yeah, because your situation is really serious and we need to know the reason why you're sick and we have to help you. But then they had asked me if I've had the situation before, like it has ever happened. I was like, no, it has never happened to me.
Why did you lie?
Then later on I remember, like 3 years ago, I had a situation whereby I had the same headache, and when I went to the hospital, the doctor said my blood had issues. By that time my Chinese was not good and I didn't care that much, because I went to a small hospital, they checked my blood, and then they sent me to a bigger hospital. They even called my school. They said, this girl has to go to a bigger hospital because her situation is serious. For me, it didn't cross my mind, so I went to that hospital with my friend. But that hospital is kind of expensive. So we did the first check, and the doctor said it was my blood. He wrote a couple of medicine for me, and then he said, like, I had to go for other tests, which were crazy expensive. I went out and I told my friends, like, we already got this medicine, we don't have to stay here. I know it sounds dumb, but I don't have a reason to explain that. So I don't really like hospitals. Like, I'm scared of hospitals. So I was like, because I have this medicine, I can just leave. So we left and we went home. I took the medicine, my headache was gone, I didn't have the headache anymore. And now I come to realize that the first time and the second time had common signs. First was my headache, and then my menstrual cycle was crazy, but I didn't pay attention because, girl, I was clean, I wasn't doing any games. So I was like, who cares? Maybe it's just the weather. I usually blame the weather, I usually blame the food, I usually blame such things, you know. I'm like, oh, no, it's a change in temperature, and so is my body. So I tell the doctor this is not the first time, and actually I still had the photo of the previous medicine. So I showed him and they said, okay, that's fine. That night passed, and in the morning, 5 a.m, the nurse wakes me up. She says, it's time for your tests. And now, to tell you, they actually had to put drip in me. I don't know if that's what they called, like, yeah, the drips for my headaches, and I don't know any other reason why did they put, because I was supposed to take 4 a day, 4 or 5 a day. Like, it was crazy for me, my first experience, and they could not even find the veins. It was really difficult, but we moved. They went to check my bone marrow, they checked my blood again, they checked they ran a lot of tests on me, you know, but all the tests came nil. They actually came back and asked me, how long have you been here? I told them. They asked me, how is the weather in your country, what do you eat? They asked me a lot of questions, and I told them, and they said, like, you have to stay. But there was something crazy. Now the blood plates were coming down really quick. They said like you're recovering very fast, so we have to slow down the drips for you. And every morning they'll just come and write the bill. That hospital wasn't expensive at all. And now being the situation, I knew it was very important for me to stay no matter how much it is. Like, I didn't care about the price. All I wanted to know is when am I leaving the hospital while I'm fine. So the doctors made it clear that it won't be a fast process, like it's going to take time. And that day passed, my friends were coming, but only one person could come because, you know, it's China and we have the 19, so only one person that has taken a test can be able to enter to see the patient. So they come, they bring me food. It was really nice. They cooked for me. And then came day 1, came day 2, just tests. Came day 3, day 4, and they said like I was done with my tests. Nothing was being found. So, but I had to stay because I still had the drips to finish. Like I had a dose and they said I have to do it there. But then they suggested like blood transfusion or something. No, that one I said no. For real, I said I'll go with the slower process. I don't want to rush anything. This is holiday, I'm fine. But if I can have medicine like tablets and go take them from home, I would be very happy. They said, girl, you're staying here at least for the next at least stay here for 5-6 days. I know, right? So I had to, it wasn't boring. Actually, I made friends with the person next to me, and to my surprise, she told me she's been coming to the same hospital at least 2 times a month, or once a month, or once in 2 months. And she actually showed me her photos. Guys, that was bad, because the way she was before and the pictures she was showing me, there was a really big change in her body. Not her skin tone, not the body weight, was really different. And for her, the situation was bad, you know, because the doctors would come in the morning to check on patients. I think I had 3 doctors and she had 4 or 5 doctors. And for her, they actually had bigger machines. They had a lot of things were going on her, and she had drips of blood. Mine were just drips of water, but hers were drips of blood. Anyway, she's grateful, she's happy, very charming and outgoing. I really enjoyed my time with her. Okay, so that's how it went. Now let me remind you of how I got to realize this was a serious situation. So when we got to the hospital the first time, when they're going to check my headache, because they told them like I just have a severe headache on the, like it's really bad on one side. So for them, they checked the blood and then they took me into MRI. I think that's how it's said. I was like, wait a minute, me in this room? It's very scary, it's very weird. I was like, this is it. So they said if you have anything metallic on you, take it off. You know, I was praying the Lord's Prayer, like this is it. But yeah, my turn reached. I had to lay flat on the bed. They scanned me. They had to scan my brain, my head, my brain. They didn't find anything. And then that's when we had to wait for the blood results, because they were taking long. And that's when they found out that my blood plates were very high, hence delay in my results. Okay, they came, they said I'm making progress and stuff. And then one time I just went to I waited for the doctor and I told her, yo, listen, I'm tired of being here and soon I'll have to be back to school. She said, okay, so I'm going to give you medicine, but make sure to come back and check again. And at this time I was not playing, because my friends were told the kind of food like I have to eat, They were told what I should drink. Like myself, like I think it's something that has changed my life. It has changed how serious I take my meds. So I told myself, girl, go learn about this disease, because you know, it now got serious, because now I remembered, like, there was another time in between the first time and this time. I had gone to the hospital for another, I think it was when it's hot, my feet swell. Like, I cannot stand high temperatures. Like, I don't know what is wrong with my body and temperatures, but I had gone to the hospital for other reasons, and then they found out that there was my blood picture results showed like some conditions, but the doctor was only speaking Chinese. I could not understand, and I never translated the results. So I think that situation was going on and was taking time, because 2 months later is when I got admitted, you know. And now I came to see that the past 3 months my menstrual cycle was not normal, but I never paid attention. I was like, girl, if it's gonna come, it's gonna come. If it doesn't come, we don't care, because nothing is going on. You know, the only thing girls fear is pregnancy, and I was not by any chance going to, like, only if I had to worry about a miracle baby. Otherwise, I was good to go. So, there are 2 types of high blood plates, and most of the time it's a reaction to a condition that you already have. Could be cancer or stress, of anemia or cancer, which you already have. Me, I only had the 2 signs, but there are signs like headaches, itching, bleeding without any reason, and there are signs like fatigue, or you could feel like numbness. Read that it could be a condition that is hereditary. Probably someone in the family has this issue and it's just being passed on, you understand? And sometimes it's because of stress, alcohol, anxiety, depression can cause all that. Funny thing is, I just learned that the high blood plates, unless it's the first type, the second type doesn't have any reason. Like, it just happens. It's like a reaction to a condition that is already happening to you, like I said. And for my case, I came to look back at my life and I felt like, I think it's because of overworking. I think I had put myself into too much pressure. Like, I'm a person that don't actually like eating, so once I'm busy, I even forget about eating. I don't pay attention to that. I have stopped. Like, I care about my meals. Like, I had to learn about the foods that are good for my blood and the iron. Like, I had to learn a lot of things. I had to stay healthy, like to make sure I'm staying healthy for the better cause, for the better reasons. Maybe you're wondering, how can this be treated? Well, if it happens because of an underlying reasons, there's nothing to cure it. First of all, nobody knows why it happens, and then it could be just like how they did a lot of tests on me and they found nothing. I think I fall into that category, even though they didn't tell me which type of high blood plates do I fall into. Why did I decide to share this story? I shared this story because I really want people to know sometimes you have a condition going on in you without you knowing the reason. Maybe you might take this thing unserious, just like how I did, and it's going to affect you because it's really bad. It can actually kill you, or it can cause blood clotting. It can cause a lot of things. It's a situation that has effects. So the more you delay to eat, the more it gets bad. Because for me, my numbers had shoot up really bad. Like, that was bad. I think they said like 2,000 something, and the normal number is like 400. I will check and I'll show you. It was triple the normal number, which was really bad and scary. So how do you treat this? You treat the symptoms or you treat the signs, and that's why they give me aspirin and the other things, because so if you have this situation like mine, or you have severe headaches, you better go check those ones. Like, I think it's important or necessary to go for our medical checkups. You don't have to wait until you're sick, because maybe you're sick and you don't really know it's happening, you know, or you might be treating something different. I was so grateful that it was made known what was the problem, because I wouldn't have known, you know. What if the painkillers had worked on me? I would have just gone on with my life. But I had another serious issue going on in my body. So it says if not taken seriously, someone can have a miscarriage, can have a heart attack, can have stroke, and so many other. I'm going to leave more details on the description box, or just as I'm editing this video, but I hope you have learned something, like one thing or two. But mostly my important advice to you is that once or when you're feeling like something is wrong in your body, just go for checkups. Never run away from medical results. Never run away from, do not say that I'm feeling better, so that's it. It's wrong. I took it that way, and you have to have a healthy lifestyle. And I feel like this story time has been messy, but I hope you've learned something. Take care of yourself and your loved ones, especially in our countries that you can go to a hospital like the one I went to, and they tell you have no problem. Child, maybe you have something serious going on. Anyway, I'm learning, it's a process. And that being said, I hope you love this video. Until next time, I'll see you on my next video. My name is Irene, and